Reason number 46 to get a Nissan. Features, especially the ones you get with the 2025 Nissan Kicks Play. Integrated Apple CarPlay, a spacious interior, advanced safety features, and more room in your budget. Because it's the most affordable new vehicle in Quebec. Get the 2025 Nissan Kicks Play S from only $22,774, including a $2,600 cash purchase bonus. Visit your Nissan dealer today. Until March 2nd, conditions apply. Details at Nissan.
Justine McIntyre with probably what's going to be my favorite segment of the show, the City Hall segment. We're speaking with Ericka Alneus. She's the Executive Committee Member for Culture. Ericka, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. I want to talk with you first. We've got a couple topics that I want to run by you, but I want to talk first about the new nightlife policy that was announced yesterday. So a policy that aims to support cultural venues by loosening opening hours and allowing for all-night events. But some people have been saying that it falls short. And just before I get you to weigh in on that, I want to hear a little bit of audio from one of the business owners on the new nightlife plan.
I was expecting something to help us, to protect us as a venue. And I don't feel that there's been something concret.
I think working on the laws and the bylaws would be the best, because that's the thing that's going to protect us against, complaints against neighbors.
All right, so that was just a little excerpt of some people that are a little bit more critical. But Ericka, tell us first, what are some of the positive aspects of this new plan?
So the new policy comes with certain orientation, and that's something that needs to be pointed out, is that there's a difference with an action plan and a policy. The policy gives the orientation.
Right.
So what are the values, the objectives that we want to reach with nightlife in Montreal? So this is what we did adopt, and we're coming with 5.5 million. 2.5 million is for the program, the soundproofing program of cultural venues. We used to have one. We already gave 1.6 million, but we're going with more. We're coming with more money with 2.5 million, and $3 million will be there to support initiatives that came out from establishments that will be labeled as nightlife, and polls, which is a recruitment of venues, restaurants, and bars that would like to be labeled polls. And we're going to help them with money, either to the cohabitation with neighbors for certain projects that they would like to do. Also, when we're talking about the bylaws, and we'll do the segue with the comments that I heard.
Yeah, please.
One of the things with the bylaws is that we're asking all the boroughs, it has been demanded that all the boroughs review their bylaws. And I can understand that some people want the agent of change. This philosophy is that when an establishment is there and something else is constructed beside it, the first building has to be respected. So this philosophy, we want to implant it within all the bylaws of all the 19 boroughs. We have to remember what is linked to noises depends of the boroughs. And the thing is that 19 boroughs have 19 different bylaws about noise. And when we're talking about noise, we have to think about all the noise. So it's not something that we could do cosmetically. We could do certain things in short term, but we want to make sure to do a really in-depth work to make sure that it would stand in front of the law if something happens.
Okay,
and that cannot be. Yes.
You're talking about the 19 different boroughs, but let's face it, most of the bars and the nightlife scene is going to be in the Ville-Marie borough. It's going to be in the same borough, and that borough, of course, the mayor of Ville-Marie borough is also the mayor of the city of Montreal. So that should be relatively easy to change and to fix, and to make sure that the bylaws that apply in the Ville-Marie borough are going to be conducive to the nightlife scene.
The beauty of it is that we're already on it for two boroughs, which are Ville-Marie and Plateau-Mont-Royal.
Okay.
The thing that people need to understand is just not, and what the process just to make sure to review the bylaw means that all the venues, we have to make sure of what decibel can work for that venue, and the other one can be another venue. So it's not something that can be easy to fix in a way where if we're putting a null standard decibel, it could put people in other problems. So it's like if we have to work really with minutie to make sure that we're not stuck with certain things that will be. It cannot be one size fit all type
Sure.
of. So this is the thing. So I want to reassure all the 19 boroughs will have to review, but we're already since few months already working on Ville-Marie and Plateau-Mont-Royal bylaws.
Okay, good to know. And you talked about creating polls in your earlier response to my opening question. You talked about creating polls. Can you talk about where those polls are located?
The thing is that first it will be voluntary. We heard a lot. Certain zones or certain areas will be nightlife zones, and
Right.
they will be obliged. No. We want the polls to come from the communities, from the neighborhoods that feels that, hey, we could mobilize as a regroupment of a group of establishment well-known. We already are established within our neighborhoods and in the city, and we want to apply to be a poll. So it's not us, the city, that will say, we're not going to commend it. We ask the polls that would be interested. So it's a regroupment of those venues, restaurants, and bars to say, hey, you know what? We're raising up our hand and we would like to. They will submit their interest. It will be studied with the borough and the city. And when they'll label, that will give them the opportunity to do a certain programmation of events that will be done during the night.
So we're talking about areas where there's already a certain density of nightlife, where there's already restaurants and bars and so on. That makes sense to me. I think the main issue that people have when we look at some of the reactions right now, and by the way, we discussed this on the Big Five a little bit earlier today, and one of my guests was Paul Gott, who's a punk rock musician, and what he brought up right away was that this has a lot to do with zoning and the mixed residential use of a lot of those areas where there is a density of nightlife already. How are you going to protect the area's kind of feeling and vibe and protect that vitality when you have at the same time residential use?
That's a beautiful question. This is why first we're working on the bylaws, because if we need to make sure that in front of the law things are clear for everyone. Second, if we're saying you're an establishment that is labeled nightlife, the $3 million I was talking earlier will support initiative to make sure of the cohabitation between citizens and those venues or those polls. We are aware, and that's the beauty of it. We have certain that is so part of our identity, and we know that we have to face housing crisis. So things need to be built. So how do we make sure of it? It's not going to be an easy, quick win, but we want to make sure to bring money to support that cohabitation.
Yeah.
Because, and I want to point out, nightlife is not only a thing between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. It's something that we consider starting from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I think Montrealers have this vibe of nightlife. We love to enjoy our festivals. We like to, go out, have a bite, and after that, go see a show. This is who we are. Now, in the circumstance of the city getting bigger, facing other things, how do we make sure to protect that? It's going to get there with progress. I really believe in it. And this is something that cannot just be on the shoulders of culture or economic development. It needs the involvement of the SPDM, of the SIM, and all the nightlife scene too, and stakeholders.
For sure. I see this also. Sorry, go ahead. I want to let you finish.
It's just that this is the thing with the policy. We know with what kind of what are the tools with whom we want to work. We have a policy that really directing our objective and orientation. We're bringing tools that are important to support the venues in soundproofing. We want to bring some money to support initiatives. And we also are, and that one of the things that was really asked by a lot of people from the nightlife stakeholders was it's complicated to communicate with the city. So we put in place within the city a team, a nightlife team of many units of the city to help those promoters.
Okay.
At the same time, there will be a table of consultation where we're gonna have people from the city and people from the nightlife scene to have discussion. We understand that, and someone said, the nightlife in Montreal have been asking for things for many, many decades, and we're aware that they're hungry in a good way to make sure that they can do what they're doing. So we want to show up with clear guidelines to make sure that the vitality remains and that citizens feel safe and happy to have this nightlife around them.
Got it. Okay. Well, okay. Sounds like a lot of different things being put into place. I see it as something more between individual rights and collective use of the area. Ericka Alneus, thanks so much for speaking with us. She's the executive committee member for culture.